I really love Elizabeth Lim's books, so thank you for giving me an opportunity to yap about them. Her books are the first times that I've ever seen cultural foods that I grew up eating represented in books, and especially in East Asian fantasy settings. I think that the main themes that are present in Elizabeth Lim's books is very much family and sisterhood. And I personally recommend reading her books in publication order, not in chronological order. And so the first book that was published is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, which follows Maya, who is a seamstress, and her father gets a summons to be entered into a competition to see who can be the best tailor for the emperor. But her father is severely injured, and so Maya takes it upon herself to enter into the competition and pretend to be a man. It's very much a Mulan retelling, and there she finds an enchanter named Eden, and they have to go on a bunch of trials and quests because of certain plot reasons. Also, Eden knows the entire time that she's a girl and spends a lot of his time helping her out, which is really cute. Spin the Dawn is the first in a duology, and so the next book is Unravel the Dusk, which follows directly after the cliffhanger of Spin the Dawn. I remember waiting a year for this book to come out, and personally, I don't think that Elizabeth Lim is that great at duologies. I think that her standalones are way, way better, but I thought the ending of this was cute, and it was very much Cowherd and the Weaver. This is the art from the pre-order campaign. It's so adorable. I love doodling Raka's art. I also really like Maya as a character because she is very feminine and soft in a sense, but she's still a strong female lead and very much takes action into her own hands, which I don't think is very common in YA, and so I really like that femininity is a strength. Next is Six Crimson Cranes, which follows the main character Shiori, and it is a Brothers Grimm retelling of the Six Swans. Six Crimson Cranes is set way before Spin the Dawn, and Eden has a small cameo. Shiori is a princess, and her stepmother curses her and her brothers, where she gets a bowl stuck on top of her head so no one can see her identity, and then her brothers get turned into cranes. And Shiori is very much against marriage, but she has to go on a quest and a journey to help fix and save her brothers, and along the way she meets Takan, who is actually the prince, and it's really cute. I just love the trope where the main character says they don't want to get married and they don't like a certain person, but then they realize that they actually do like them outside of, titles. Also, the fact that she has a bowl on top of her head leads to so much angst, surprisingly, and it's also really funny at times. And then this is also the first in a duology. The second book is called The Dragon's Promise, which I don't have on me right now. I think my friend is borrowing it. Next is Her Radiant Curse, which follows the quote-unquote evil stepmother from Six Crimson Cranes. It's her kind of origin story, and I really, really love this one. It's a standalone, and I think Elizabeth Lim really shines with standalones. And it just also is such a beautiful story about sisterhood, and I love that the main character doesn't have a love interest and the main focus is her love for her sister. I also really think that the plot wraps up really nicely. It is very devastating though. And then most recently, A Forgery of Fate was published, which follows a girl named Tyrion who is an art forger. Tyrion agrees to marry the Dragon Lord in order to protect her family, and the Dragon Lord wants to marry her because she needs to be brought to the Undersea to forge a painting, and she can't go to his palace unless she is his true love. And so they marry, hoping that's a good enough cover, but fun fact, she is his true love. And this book is a standalone.